If a student were looking to me for advice on pursuing an international career, I would first suggest traveling to the country they are interested in having a career with an open mind. Living in another country could mean being really close to huge lizards, not having access to Wi-Fi, being chased by a coati, or just getting used to reducing the size of your personal space. It's important to test your ability to live in a different country before you move. The number one thing that you have to get used to living in a different country is being outside of your comfort zone. Be ready to learn a second language or know one before you leave. The last thing you want to happen is to be stuck in customs and not be able to understand how to fix your paperwork to enter the country, which happened to me, by the way. Once you're in the country, use your connections or make new connections. Your networking is going to help you be able to readily assimilate into this new culture. People tend to do things differently in different countries, and if you can have some people help you along the way, you're going to be able to work better in that environment. For those also interested in environmental education with a GIS focus, get as much volunteer work as you can in the field you are wanting to go into. Some good organizations with locations in multiple countries would be the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. military, and non-governmental organizations. Keep in mind that many careers in environmental education are volunteer, and the paid positions can be highly competitive. Regardless of what field you want to go into, making sure that this is 100% the choice you want for the long term is very important if you're trying to have an international career. Because if a company invests a bunch of money to relocate you to a new country, they don't want you to come back in a couple of months and say, hey, I don't think that's something I wanted to do. I'm going to go back home. If they invest all that money, they want you to be there for the long term usually. So make sure that you're comfortable living in a different country with different people and a different language, potentially, before you relocate yourself and maybe your family as well. Along the lines of keeping an open mind, you have to be sure to really try the new culture. Appreciate the differences between your culture and the new one you're assimilating into. Like in Costa Rica, for example, the garbage cans, one of the most simple things that we take for granted every day, those were arranged completely differently than in the United States. So something so small can be so different, and if you take the time to appreciate those differences, it's going to be easier for you to accept living in a different culture. At the same time, there are going to be many similarities as well. Monsanto, for example, was graffitied in multiple places in San Jose, Costa Rica, and there's some discomfort in the community regarding large multinational corporations such as Monsanto. So just like in the United States. So you need to be aware of those social constructions regarding the multinational corporations before you enter a country as part of one of those multinational corporations. And at the same time, that's something that culturally you can transfer over and you can find common ground with. Whether you're wanting to enter into an international career in environmental education or any other field,